Snail Man is real and he mugged me last week. Jezebelle gaburgably is one of my favorite artists right now, and a particular song by her, Slime, is very evocative to me. I want to try and illustrate how this song makes me feel. But first off, Jezebelle gaburgably lore dump. Jezebelle gaburgably, noted cisgender woman, started making waves in the underground e-punk/incelcore community around 2020 with her song I Don't Speak to Whores. The song is written from the perspective of an incel rejected by his crush. Afterwards, she reaches out to him and is like, hey, I've been going through some shit. And he's like, fuck you, I don't care. Go get fucked. Both as a manner of speech and literally. It's pretty clear to me, at least, that this song is like about how that guy sucks. It has very provocative lyrics, so I totally understand why people really got icked out by it. Because most people's first introduction to Jezebelle was through her song, I Don't Speak to Whores, and she's singing in a very boyish voice. Most people just thought she was some teenage boy incel singing about his problems with women, which, to be fair, is very common, but this misunderstanding led to years of misinformation and confusion about her identity, which is kind of hilarious. Anyways, the irony of I Don't Speak to Whores is lost on its audience. The song gets a ton of plays, and the incels fucking love it. You get into Jezebel's mind here, right? You just got a ton of attention on a song. You have this whole fan base. She grifts. She builds up this fake male chauvinist persona. I fucking love Snail Man, dude. Did you know that he's real? Snail Man eats shrubs and herbs, dude. It definitely had bacteria on it. Yeah, can I get the please? Sponsored by. Oh man, I love. I'm glad I got that on camera. Yeah, it's awesome. This is low-key pathetic as shit. In order to solidify her new identity, Jezebelle wrote a brand new album for her new persona called Chunk. And this is where the song that everyone knows her from, Snail Man, comes from. This Snail Man guy is fucked up, man. He's killing people. Absolutely no chill on the Snail Man, dude. Anyways, at this point, Jezebelle has become an established incelcore musician. She ends up on one of the MK Ultra support group albums, which is like a compilation album organized and compiled by Negative XP, my favorite problematic incel boy.
I feel like that undersells Negative XP's like shittiness.
MK Ultra support group, aka MSG, was basically like a who's who in incel core at the time. At some point around 2021, Jezebel's fans find her older deleted music, and this causes a shitstorm. She's singing in a high voice and talking about her experiences as a woman? What the fuck? Jezebelle gaburgably is a misogynistic asshole. He's a woman. In response to this community-wide revelation, instead of digging further into the incel hole, Jez decides to back up and just ditch the whole persona. She began to write songs that are far more genuine and personal to reflect this change in her image. Anyways, that's enough backstory. Let's get into the fucking song! Slime opens up on a synth bass line and some snares hitting the 2 and the 4, setting up a super energized banger of a song. Increasing its intensity into an explosion of energy, this noisy-ass guitar just pierces our ears. And this synth bass. The synth bass walks up, starts building the intensity, and then, boom! The synth line hits. I don't know what you're thinking, but slime is what I'm drinking. I kicked that bitch out, how the fuck she end up back in? This is probably the catchiest synth that anyone has ever wrote. You thought the guitar was piercing? Check this shit out, you fucking idiot. You fucking fool, dumbass. You're stupid. You're not gonna survive the winter. You can't survive the endless trials. The endless trials is giving early BTMI. After playing through the melody once, the synth art starts to go crazy, and it just adds a super overwhelming energy. The whole song has been building and building and building. Just like a kid running away from a man, so bored to try to find and get excited, so I just press record. It's fucking sick. It's overwhelming. I just want to break shit. I want to fucking... It's like... we get to a new section of the song, and for the first time, Jezebelle takes away an element out of the mix to give more focus to the vocals, but also highlight the lyrics of drawing yourself in and closing yourself off from other people. Isolation and shit. This is important, bitch. Listen up. And, you know, speaking of those lyrics, let's get into those lyrics. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Yeah, can you bark into the mic, please? Thank you. What's the matter with me? Check out this line-by-line analysis. Me explaining how every bump of cocaine that we do in the bathroom changes the party's vibe just a little bit until we ship of Theseus ourselves into a Manhattan condo, surrounded by older men who look like Leo DiCaprio in that one movie. I haven't seen it. There's like wolves in it or some shit. I don't know what you're thinking, but sun is what I'm drinking. I don't know what to think about this either, Jez. What is it about slime that's confusing to us? What are we supposed to think about the slime? What does slime mean? A metaphor? A literal slime? These are the things that Jez is like implanting in our brains early on in the song. Keeps us thinking. This is a thinking man's song. Snail, slime, and similar grime are all heavily associated with Jezebelle gaburgably. She makes dirty, disgusting, gross music for dirty, disgusting girls. Slime instantly brings to mind that snail man guy we learned about earlier, so maybe he has something to do with the song. I don't know, we'll see. No, it's important. It's part of my thing. Climbing is my thing! With this line, Jez breaks the end rhyme structure of the previous lines, instead rhyming drinking with kicked and bitch. Slant rhymes quite clearly, but it seems to me that these were intended internal interactions within the initial lines. Ooh, we get alliterative on that cunt. I don't know if kicked being the emphasized word in that phrase really gives a lot of action to it, you know, like bow, kick. I can't kickflip. It gives a lot of power to the phrase, and I think it's really cool. The wider incel core community wasn't exactly thrilled when Jez came out as a cisgender woman. What's wrong with you? You fucking... This line could... What the fuck was that? These lines could be a reference to how Jez was kicked out of MSG or her wider community as a whole, further building up the themes of isolation. I'm gasping for fucking air. I got fucked up and sick, we woke up with 50 hickeys, and then I found out you can mix your rum and whiskey. The narrator goes into her self-destructive tendencies and experiences with alcohol. Perhaps slime could be a reference to drugs, alcohol, general instability in her life. These themes begin to formulate in your mind. Your weird little fucked up mind. Your weird little pervert mind. You strange little fuck. Are you your brain, or is your brain just the Xbox controller that controls your meat flesh? Where does the soul lie? I wish I still believed in God! Just like a kid running away from it, so bored of trying to fight and get excited, so I just press record. She desires to run away and change her life, but lacks the drive to actually commit to the idea, and turns to recording music to cope. I experience this feeling quite deeply. All of my most fucked up and weird thoughts get poured into my music. There's a common view that angsty music comes from people who are struggling, and that's true to an extent, but I think there's more to it than that. Writing a song is fucking hard. If you're mentally ill and struggling to do basic daily tasks, writing a song is not really on your list of to-dos. Rather, I think most angsty music that people hear is written after the fact. In a lot of the good angsty music, you can really hear and feel that introspection and reflection upon the past. And that feels significant to me in this song. At my most mentally ill, I wrote some of the worst music I ever made. That shit was lame as fuck. My point being is that Jez is likely writing about her past experiences. Wait, does anyone know how to make yourself throw up? How do you do it? In this part of the song, two big concepts are introduced. One, an unnamed he, and two, severe deflection. Jez quite clearly feels things about this revelation, otherwise she wouldn't put it into a song. It's like saying how you don't care about the haters makes it all the more clear that you do care. I care about the haters. I care about them deeply. I hope they have a beautiful life and they learn that their sin against me will not be forgiven after they die. I'm so ex-Catholic, dude. Obviously, Slime is a very intensely real and personal song, and Jezebel's insistence that she doesn't feel a thing is a very obvious deflection that we're supposed to pick up on lyrically. And so Jez pulls back and hides her feelings from the audience, further retreating into isolation. Important marker to the song. Faking shit is an important theme. I hope I fall in the river. Here we go. We finally got to the potatoes and meat of the song. Fuck. Jez cannot be genuine or real to herself. She's convinced herself of her fake persona so strongly she believes it. She uses this fake self as a crutch for her real life. Her cognitive dissonance between knowing that she's lying but believing it anyways is like the perfect illustration of the dichotomy in this song. And dude, being this genuine with your lyrics is fucking hard. In the songwriting process, being genuine or real with your feelings isn't like a natural state that everyone is at the start and then they fake it afterwards. Being vulnerable is like a skill you have to learn and teach yourself after being vulnerable many times. When you first start out with songwriting, it feels like everything you write is like a oversimplification of your true feelings. Like you're making your real feelings more palatable to other people, but you don't understand how to make them real. You don't understand the methods that you use to make your feelings come across right. Vulnerability is a skill that you learn over time. And it is very clear that Jez has learned vulnerability. Jez's boy era was the peak of her putting on a fake mask and writing songs that didn't reflect her true self. The boy songs that Jez wrote that work the best for me are the ones that play into the fiction of it all. Jezebelle isn't delving into some deep truth about herself. She's making up a snail guy to express her violent urges. I also really like I Don't Speak to Whores, but that's a really hard sell to most people. I don't think people really... I think 90% of reasonable people don't like that song. Sorry for being a freak. Problematic incel music, my beloved. You know, like the heart locket gif that you see on Discord? Like, put one of those. Yeah, can you do a gulp into the mic, please? This line refers back to the unnamed he earlier in the song. You can interpret it to be many things, but I actually choose to interpret this as Jezebel's previous male persona. That masculine identity is part of her past, but on some level, she feels like she can't let go of it. If she ditched that part of herself, she would cease to exist the same way that she does currently. These next lines evoke a lot of really personal memories for me. Having a lot of codependent relationships and toxic relationships in my life brings to mind a lot of breakup texts that I've had. A lot of like, please don't go, no matter what, even if it sucks, just please stay with me because staying in a toxic relationship is at least better than being alone. I relate. I think me and Jezebel have some of the same traumas. Hashtag suffering. Big shout out to all the people that love me, especially when I struggle and hurt them. I love you guys. Heart. Love and peace and friendship and love and flowers and peace and love and war and violence and the demon blade and the demon blade. I love the demon blade. 10 reasons I wouldn't be corrupted by the demon blade. Number 1, I'm built different. Number 2, I could resist the temptation. All right, we finally got to my favorite part of the song. I was super calculated, now I'm mentally castrated. In patriarchal social structures, castration is often seen as the worst possible thing you could do to a guy. Public castration is a good idea. Removing the penis, you know, the primary marker of a man, a male identity, is to take away the man's primary marker of his dominance over women, right? If we're talking Freudian. To remove that is to disempower him and bring him down to the same level as women. It's a very evocative choice for Jezebel to describe herself as mentally castrated. With the themes of ditching your male identity behind, it's peak. These were some of the biggest clues I had in this song that led me to the framework of analysis that I chose. Just 'cause every guy I've dated always feels emasculated. Guys don't really want to date a girl who used to pretend to be a dude. It makes them feel weird about their sexuality. I might know a couple of things about that. It's funny because one of the ways that Jez was initially found out, somebody found an old deleted song of hers titled, I Hate My Body, I Want to Be a Girl. Keep in mind, Jezebel is a cisgender woman, so this caused a lot of confusion when this came out. The song is about gender dysphoria, very clearly, but in the way that a cisgender woman doesn't feel feminine enough. We're in the same struggle, Jez. Hashtag cisgender ally. But yeah, people thought Jez was trans when this song came out, which is really funny. She had to make a whole coming out post about it. Our favorite little weird fucked up man, Negative XP, even said something about it on stream.
I think she asked to be on it, and I was like, are you a girl? That was the first thing said to her, because I wasn't sure if they were trans, and if they were like a literal girl, then I was gonna be like, oh, sorry, you can't, because you're a fucking bitch, you're a fucking slut. Gezebelle said, yeah, that they were a boy, and then I just assumed they were trans. So I was like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. I don't really care.
Shooter said trans rights.
Now I see what I've created. I am worse than I am hated. I should be decapitated. Go to hell, it's renovated.
It's important to remember when writing lyrics that it's not always about the literal meaning of them. Sometimes it's good to write things that just sound nice. If people tune out the deeper meaning of your lyrics, at the very least they'll enjoy how it sounds. Our pattern-seeking monkey brains love when things rhyme. Rhyme! Like rhyme kickflip. I fucking love how this part of the song sounds. Rhyming 6-syllable words over and over again is really difficult, and it's really hard to make it sound natural, but she does it great. This white girl can spit. Hawk to a slime on that thing. Despite trying to make her male persona work, it ends up harming her in the end. In the end, kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. Distancing herself from her male persona disempowered her in the incel patriarchal view, and now she has to suffer the consequences of her actions. Jez absolutely recognizes that she kind of did this to herself. I really like this line. It sounded awkward to me on first listen, but she's essentially saying that she's a worse person than when people give her shit for. It has a kind of sauce I can't properly describe.
I am happily sedated in a green slime. I am not wasting away in the meantime. Let's play a little game. Is it contagious or some bitches have to know I have to taste it. Ripping, chasing, and replacing, yeah.
Holy shit, the internal rhymes, the catchy melodies, ooh, the songwriting prowess on display. I'm a big fan of this part. Jezebel's false identity has made her complacent. She doesn't even consider her actual feelings. I also had to look up the word sebaceous, whatever the fuck that meant. I really don't know what she's talking about here. I think she just said it because it rhymes. Sounds good though. Sebaceous is like some kind of gunk on your skin, so maybe it's like a slime thing? I don't know.
You're so fucking ugly. You're mad 'cause you love me. You just try to hide it 'cause you really wanna fuck me. All the bitches lacking. You're choking and you're gagging. It's offensive. Why the fuck is you attacking?
At the end here, Jezebel switches from mostly defensive I statements into accusatory you statements. She's going on the offensive. She's been provoked. I ain't defensive, why the fuck is you attacking? Is like the most offensive line ever. I love it. I just love the character that Jez plays in this song. It's super clear that Jez knows her strength as a songwriter, and I really admire that about her.
Sleeping on a napping. You're funny and I'm laughing.
I'm sleeping on him, napping. I really have a soft spot for those kinds of silly bars. But the next line, you're funny and I'm laughing, it adds a lot of nuance. It shows that Jez is still very conflicted about her choices. On some level, she still has an affection for her old persona, and that comes out in this line, and I think it's really cool.
You say I'm a cut, but you're a freaking buster capping. Yeah, it's time to die and turn to slime.
You're a liar, you dead bitch! Jezebel has reduced her previous self to slime. The false gaburgably has been slain. This is Jez's final fuck off to the person that she used to be, and it feels good. This is a super cathartic moment on this album. It feels like a great finale, not only to the song, but also to that entire era of her life, like she's sending it off. It's really good, and I think it's really thematically important. I like the song a little bit, guys, can you tell? Anyways, Jezebel Gaburgably, if you're watching, collab with me? Ew, I'm never making that face again.
Can you do your best Scooby-Doo laugh right now?